What's good, y'all? It's your boy DJ Valid, DJ VALIDD. Back with another one. Just here to just share some thoughts with y'all. I was watching the Wendy Williams documentary, so let's just jump straight to it. First and foremost, thank you to everybody that put the likes on the last video and the comments on the last video. Really appreciate the feedback. You know what I mean? It lets you feel like people out here understanding what's going on. So there's a couple real ones out here that get what's going on. Sometimes I feel I'm in the Matrix. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. But it's glad to see that there's other people out here that's in it with me. So at least let's fight our way out of this one video at a time, right? So anyway, I was watching the Wendy Williams documentary briefly, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of you are familiar with Wendy Williams. For those who aren't, maybe there's young people who didn't grow up listening to Wendy. I didn't grow up listening to Wendy, but eventually I heard here and there as a child coming up. Like I consider myself a kid back then. I think it was in the 90s and the 2000s where Wendy was doing her thing. And I would hear it here and there, but I'm not into gossip as a kid, and even now I'm not even into gossip. Never was, never will be. But she used to say some things that was really out of pocket about other people's lives. And she didn't just go after black celebrities, she went after everybody. You know what I mean? She talked about everybody's business, and she put a lot of people's business out there. For those who are asking who, popular names like Whitney Houston. Like I remember Judge Mathis roasted her. They had a back and forth. Method Man got into it with his family. I think Britney Spears. There was a lot of people that she came after. So now I see Wendy in this documentary, and I'm like, whoa. So there's two sides to the coin now. When people are looking at it, like there's some people who feel bad for Wendy. There's human sympathy there, and then there's some people saying, hey man, you reap what you sow. And where am I on that? I go on the side of I was both, but you got to choose a side. And if I had to choose a side, it would have to be you reap what you sow ultimately, because you have to go back and listen to Wendy Williams when she was at the height of her popularity. You have to go back and listen and understand some of the things that this lady has said. No disrespect to Wendy, I think she's actually a powerful female, black female in entertainment. But the way that she got it, it's all coming back to her now. You know what I mean? You talk about people and gossip people. I mean, you got to expect something to come back to you. These are people's lives. These people families just like us. You know what I mean? They got families too that they care about, people they care about, and they have their own business that they might not want the world to know. She actually was bringing up rumors about Whitney with the crack situation before it was really out there. She was putting people's business out there. So it is what it is. And listen, one thing I know about United States and people in general is people love a car wreck. They love a train wreck. They love it. They love an airplane crash. They love to see other people going down. I don't know why we're like this, but it's fascinating to watch, especially people who will hold a prominent position in life or have money. We love to see them crash and burn. Now, not me personally. I don't love to see anybody crash and burn. I always told my peoples that if I was, and I have some issues with my exes back in the day, and to the point where I would never ever speak to them again. But I would never, I used to tell my friends, if I see my ex on the corner begging for money, I'd feel bad. I'd drop them. And I have exes who cheated on me. I done caught them in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done been through it all, but I would still drop a dollar or two in a cup, because it's somebody that you know what I'm saying? It's a human being. One is somebody that you had a relationship with. It's somebody at one point you were saying, I love you to. And that's not to be you're not supposed to be holding that type of anger years later, where it's like, damn, this person I'm with is in a corner begging. You try to do something for them. You know what I mean? It rewards you later in life. And don't do it just to be rewarded. You do it because it's just the right thing to do. Now, the thing with Wendy now, back to Wendy, I seen the documentary. I seen how Wendy looked. If y'all ain't seen it, go check it out. I believe it's on Lifetime. I was shocked. I couldn't believe I was watching. I couldn't believe that was Wendy Williams. She looked kind of like in all respects, like a ghost. Like she was white. Like her face was white, like devoid of color, and her eyes, and she looked sickly, and she was sickly. And I'm just like, wow. I think she's suffering from dementia. For those who don't know, you got to check it out. I briefly watched and touched on it, and I just want to say, this topic today is kind of about karma. At one point I didn't believe in karma, because I thought like, for all the things that black people have suffered at the hands of who, right? Slavery, colonization, how come they didn't get their karma? That's why I would think about karma in a certain way. Like, why doesn't it affect certain people, or does karma transverse, doesn't have like transverse, but doesn't have a certain time? You know, does it not have it has no time when it comes along? Do people who oppress the certain people get their karma maybe in year 3,000, 4,000? Like, how does it work? I don't know. But I really do believe you reap what you sow. I do. And that has to do with karma as well. Like, Wendy Williams used to talk a lot of things about people, and now she's suffering where she's about to forget everything. Now, another thing with the Wendy situation, I think she's a smart black woman when it comes to getting ahead of the media. I think Wendy really understands the media. And I think she's trying to what they call control the narrative. I think that the media always follows big stars, big names. Wendy's a big name. She's a big deal. So I feel like she told her team, let's get ahead of it. They're already gonna have cameras on me. Instead of them having the exclusive, the TMZ, and you see Wendy Williams spotted looking crazy or whatever. She said, let me get ahead of it and make some money off of it. She's still a businesswoman. She's like, let me get ahead and make some money off of my own demise, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's also a ploy to get some money out of it, you know. And man, to see her in that condition, this is still a human being. I still feel bad in a sense, but I still understand that you get what you put out there. Karma is a motherfucker. Don't think you can escape it. Don't think you can do things to people, gossip about people, talk behind people's backs, say what you want to say, do what you want to do, and expect it not to come for you. You know what I mean? Look at all the dudes who in the Chicago thing, the Chicago wars, the smoking on the deads, smoking a pack. And they referred to the dead person that he's smoking. I'm like, when I was watching, this is when DJ Academics was at his height, right? And he's reporting all this Chirac activity, and they're talking about they're smoking on this and smoking on that and whatever the case may be. I'm looking at it like a lot of these young boys, they're gonna die, and a lot of them did, because I'm watching it like you can't dance on your enemy's grave. When somebody dies and they rest, it's time for rest now. Regardless of who they are, they're gone, and you dancing on somebody's grave, dog. And smoking a pack and all this crazy stuff you putting out into the world. Then you hear they get shot down. You're like, who didn't see that coming? You know what I mean? You can't go through life thinking you can do to others and it don't come back to you, man. It comes back to you, even as far as when you cheat on somebody, right? Say you got a lady, and this lady's actually a good woman that's doing great for you. Like she's doing everything she's supposed to do, but you might not be satisfied, but you're not man enough to tell her, yo, I want out of this. Even though everything's cool with you and everything, I don't think that we're compatible. You don't have the balls to do that. I've been there. And you will go out there and cheat on a girl. It happens where she finds out, right? Later on in life, if that comes back to you tenfold, where you might even catch something, right? You got to understand it comes from that, man. It's a karma, bro. It comes all around full circle, dog. That's why I try my best to do unto others how I want them done, how I want it done to me. Like I want it. Does that require a pause? How I want it done to me? That's kind of a pause, right? That's a pause. But that's from watching It Is What It Is. Check out It Is What It Is, man. But yeah, man, like that's why I try my best to be as nice as possible to people, because it's like you never know what's gonna come around the corner for you, whether it be a good thing or a bad thing. But if you put out enough bad out there, if you out going around shooting people and gang banging, what you think's gonna really come back to you? That's what I be wanting to know. Like, what do you, as a gangster, and you out there, let's say you out here murdering people, right? And yeah, they might be the ops. You really don't think it's gonna come back to you? Like, you really, what's your end game? You think that you about to what? Retire from the game? I'm gonna put up my gun and I'm gonna preach to other kids now. Never pick up the gun because this is how I lived it. I lived it and you can't live it. And nigga, you gonna go to jail where you gonna have a horrible experience. You're gonna go to the grave where who knows, if you depend on what you believe in, where you're gonna end up and what you're gonna experience, man. Can you imagine a person who murdered people indiscriminately? What if there really is a hell? What they're doing down there? What's happening to them down there? It's real out here, man. Wendy Williams talked a lot about people, bro. And she talked about people when they were at their lowest. So she doubled down. I don't know if she ever apologized behind the scene. I don't know if she ever apologized on radio. I never followed her like that because I don't, like I said, I'm not into gossip. I'm not even into talking behind people's backs. Anything I say to somebody, I can say to the person if they were standing next to me saying it, because You just don't talk about people in that way unless you want to be talked about that way. You know what I mean? Check out the documentary. Karma is real. I just want to come on here real quick, drop a quick little knowledge on what I feel about it. And if you like the content, like I said, like and subscribe. Let's keep it going further, man. It encouraged me to make more videos, man. You know what I'm saying? The more love I get, the more encouragement I get. I feel like I can do this. I can stick on this camera and put this camera in my face and do this. You know what I mean? This is something that it's a nice little outlet for me. It's nice to see other people in the world, especially regardless, it's strangers, but it's good to see that there's people that align with what you're thinking. You know what I mean? It's good. It's a good feeling. So it's your boy DJ Valid, DJ VALIDD. Please like, subscribe, share. I ain't asking for the Cash App just yet. Let's try to get somewhere first before all of that. You know what I mean? Salute and big ups from Queens. You know what I mean?